almost 20 years back, I was sitting there. I did the same course that you did and began my journey of yoga with this course. Yeah.
2004.
Yeah, almost.
That time I joined Ganesh Rao.
So, absolutely. So, what you are embarking upon is very precious, and it's up to you where you take it. One of the definitions of the word yoga is yuj samyama. Yoga is a discipline. All religions, all ethical systems, all institutes have their own discipline. Then what is the difference between yoga and all these other names that I have told as far as discipline is concerned? In all other places, whether it is religion, moral system, institute, corporate body, the discipline comes from outside. In yoga, it is self imposed discipline. Nobody imposes discipline from outside. It is for you to impose discipline inside from yourself, and that has tremendous advantages. The most important being, nobody can stop your progress in yoga. Nobody can stop. It depends upon you how much you want to take out of it. Also, you have no excuse if you don't progress in yoga. You can neither say my teacher was not good, nor the institute was not good, or my situation at home was not good. There is no excuse at all. On one side, it is tremendously advantageous for you, no limits where you can reach. On the other side, there is no excuse. I mean, I have seen lots of people. This comes in Hatha Yoga as one of the obstacles, Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha is adhering to rules and regulations. If Hatha Yoga says early morning practice of yoga is very good, and then if some of you are doing night job or babies at home, or lifestyle is such that you are watching TV serials at night and the morning you are not able to get up and do yoga, it does not mean that you should not do yoga. Hatha Yoga only says doing yoga in the morning is good. But nobody stops you from doing yoga in the afternoon or evening or midnight. Nobody stops. So you cannot even say that my lifestyle or the situation around me is such that I cannot do yoga. No, there is no excuse at all. I mean, at the end of the day, if nothing works, then if you are sleeping for 6 hours, I can suggest sleep for 4 hours and do 2 hours of yoga, because that is your time. Nobody can stop you. I mean, this is the beauty of yoga. We talk about as self-imposed discipline. Whenever discipline comes from outside, the rebel in us comes up. If somebody tells you do this, you will say, why? Why should I do? I will not do. I don't want to obey. Because the rebel in me always does not accept rules from outside. But when it comes from inside, there is no stoppage to success in life. Every form of success in life comes from discipline. And if a discipline comes from inside, then just think where you can reach. Yeah. Yoga today has become very popular, particularly after 2015, when in the United Nations General Assembly, 21st June was declared as a Yoga Day, International Day of Yoga, by a margin which was history in United Nations. I think out of 190 countries, 179 countries said yes, yoga should be the International Day of Yoga, 21st June. And from that day onwards, we celebrated 6th International Day last year, 21st June. But the net effect of this International Day of Yoga being chosen as 21st June, and on the insistence of our Prime Minister, what has happened is we have reclaimed the heritage of yoga as Indian. This is very, very important. If you look today, what we at home use haldi, for therapeutical purposes, this haldi is patronized, patented in US that this belongs to us. What we practice as awareness or sakshi bhav for 2000 years today is becoming popular in the West as mindfulness. What we practice as pranayam is today becoming popular in the Western world as cardiac coherent breathing. If we don't reclaim and lay our authority that yoga belongs to this country, very soon you will have to learn yoga from teachers coming from abroad. Like what happens or what happened in hockey. Being a sportsman, I know for a number of Olympics, India was the gold medalist. But a time came when fitness started dominating, and as it is the Western world with a materialistic culture, physically much more fitter than Indians, because we are psychic wise spiritual. We pay more importance to our values in life, not to the physical fitness. So the whole hold on hockey, slowly we lost. And today we are struggling. This was the first hockey where we got at least a bronze medal. Otherwise, for last 3-4 Olympics, we have not got anything because we left the hold. And that was what was happening in yoga also. But thanks to this phenomenon of International Day of Yoga, yoga has once again become a part of India. And today the world is accepting that yoga has arisen, originated in our country. This is a milestone, absolute milestone. I am saying this because the last 5 years, I made 75 trips abroad. I am not exaggerating. In 5 years, 75 trips abroad. And in this all courses of yoga, wherever you go abroad, today, thanks to the popularity of yoga, an Indian teacher is given more respect than any other teacher. This has happened because of 6 years back, we have reclaimed, not only this, if there are some students of Sanskrit here, it is because of yoga, in a good measure, that the language of Sanskrit also has become popular. I don't know whether you're noticing it or not, but because the texts of yoga are written in Sanskrit, whether you take Patanjali's Yoga Sutras or you take Shiv Samhita or any textbook, it is written in Sanskrit. So automatically when you go into yoga, you make efforts to understand Sanskrit. All over the world today, there is tremendous interest in Sanskrit, thanks to yoga. Third, entire Indian culture has come up in focus. The other day, I was talking in a panel discussion of national security with defense forces. The defense forces in our country are now going back to our scriptures, whether it is Kautilya's Arthashastra or Panchatantra, Vasugupta, or Puranas, or the Upanishads. Tremendous knowledge about national security there. And the defense forces today are falling back upon our scriptures to see how do we protect our country based upon our scriptures. You are seeing a total rejuvenation of Indian culture, yoga included, and yoga was the starting point. Today, yoga is increasing in popularity by geometric progression. If there are some mathematics students, you will understand what is geometric progression. It is not arithmetic progression. In arithmetic progression, we say 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That is how it increases. In geometric progression, we say 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. It is the power raised to 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2. It is geometric progression, it is increasing. Yeah. Tremendously increasing. And it is embraced, yoga is embraced by people belonging from all races, regions, religions. I mean, if you have seen the video clip, YouTube clip, I think it was 2 days back, in Saudi Arabia for the first time, In the open, 1,000 yoga participants participated in yoga. In Saudi Arabia, 1,000 yoga practitioners in open ground for the first time. You can see the inroads made by yoga because it is a universal culture, it is a universal philosophy. The body, the mind is the same whether you take of Indian or American or European. All of us have the same problems. There are a number of people who came and said for mental peace, mental health. And I remarked also that in this batch there are 3 Priyankas. It's a problem for the teachers, Irrespective of caste, creed, race, region, religion, yoga is now accepted, embraced, wholeheartedly followed the world over. Whether it be for physical health, mental health, spiritual health, whether it be for personal relationships. I conduct lots of courses for corporate bodies. It's not for physical health or mental health. It is for increasing efficiency and output of the person in office atmosphere or factory atmosphere. When I take sessions for the army people, I will quote some incident. The brigadier who was the faculty head, he said, "Sir, when you are taking us workshops, please never say that yoga will make us peaceful people. Because we are not here for peace. The moment army comes, army is supposed to kill. So if you tell us that our capacity to kill the enemies will increase, we are prepared to follow yoga." And he was making a very brilliant point. Yoga is like a knife with a sharp edge. If the knife is with you, you can use it to cut vegetables and use it nicely. But you can cut your own hand also with it. Yoga is a power. Where you use the power, it is up to you. He may use it in the office atmosphere, she may use it for mental health, physical health. One may improve personal relationships based upon yoga. One may go deeper into spiritual practices. It is a power. The definition of yoga in scriptures is yuj samadhau. Yoga is equal to concentration. As simple as that. And if yoga is concentration, concentration is required in any field for you to excel. Whether I am playing football on the football field, or she is teaching here, or you're working in the office, if you don't have concentration, you cannot succeed. This is the etymological meaning of yoga. Yuj samadhau. Yoga is equal to samadhi, is equal to concentration. And if that concentration is there, any field you go, you'll be successful. It's a power. It's a power that you get. It's a total holistic power, whether it is your social relationships, whether it is your personal health, physical health, physiological health, mental health, spiritual health. It is total holistic in nature. I have given you the plus side of yoga becoming popular. There is a big negative side. The negative side of anything becoming popular is that it becomes mediocre. Anything which becomes popular becomes mediocre by definition. Why? Because more and more people enter into the bandwagon of yoga. Because yoga is popular, they want to capitalize it, exploit its popularity, and they start using it for their own purposes. When that happens, the whole essence of yoga becomes mediocre. And then you will have in the Western world dog yoga, cat yoga, bear yoga, marijuana yoga. This is the result of popularity of yoga. When yoga becomes popular, it becomes mediocre. Not only I am just for the sake of protecting our integrity, I am talking about Western nations, but this is true of our nation also, our country also. Because easily you can identify yoga with a physical fitness regimen. And if you do that, then you have brought down the level of yoga totally. Because if it is only a physical fitness regimen, you can go and do jogging. You can play a game of badminton. You can go to the gym. All of them are fitness regimens. Why do you come to yoga? Going for fitness to yoga is like going to a supermarket and trying to buy a pin. And that person who is owning the supermarket, he says, sir, there is plane available here. Why are you coming for pin? If you are coming to yoga only for physical fitness, it is going to a supermarket and buying a pin. Physical health, mental health are byproducts of yoga practices. I'm very clear in my words. They are byproducts of yoga practices, not end goals of yoga practice. When a person does yoga and says, sir, I'm very fit, I do yoga, I say, what big deal? I say, I get fit when I play football on the field. I've also got fitness. So what is the difference there? Physical health and mental health naturally happen to you. Not. Every day you do asanas, you do pranayam practices, you will become healthy. Nobody can stop you from becoming healthy. But there is something more there. Patanjali says very clearly that dharana sucha yogyata manasaha. By doing pranayam practices, the manasa becomes yogya for dharana. Hatha Yoga says, pranayamena yuktena sarva roga kshaya bhavet. By doing pranayam practices, all rogas will go. Now look at the two difference. One is physically oriented, all diseases will go. Patanjali says, dharana sucha yogyata manasa. That is only one effect. The second effect is, tataha kshiyate prakasha avarnam. By doing pranayam practices, the shroud which covers the impurities in you, the shroud will be removed, impurities will be removed, the light from inside you starts shining brightly. Where in Hatha Yoga say you do asanas for physical health, Patanjali says, tata dvandhana vighataha. By doing asana practice, conflicts in mind will go. You can come for diabetes, no problem at all. Do yoga practice, asana practice, diabetes will go. But along with diabetes, the mental peace comes automatically. It can give you much more than what you are coming for. The challenge today for all yoga practitioners and those sitting in front of me here is how to prevent our yoga from becoming diluted. Diluted in essence, distorted in understanding. Can we stop it? It's very, very essential. Unless and until we who belong to this beautiful country, if we don't take this responsibility upon ourselves, then we will bring down the whole essence of yoga. Yoga is a darshana, one of the Astika darshanas, one of the 6 ancient Indian philosophies. And every darshana in our country is meant for removing total sufferings of human life. Dukkha nivarana. It is not for removing diabetes or blood pressure or obesity. That will happen automatically, not a big deal. So, for us to appreciate that, okay, I am getting into a field where so much promise is there, so much promise. I can tell you, if you sincerely practice under these learned teachers here, you will bring about a transformation in yourself, not a change. There is a small, big difference between the words change and transformation. What is the difference? When A changes to B, there is all possibility for B to become A again. It's only a change. I go to the gym, do dumbbells, my biceps will increase, my triceps will increase, they'll become very nice. That's why mirrors are kept in the gym. Every now and then you go and see, bad raha hai ki nahi bad raha hai. But you leave that practice for 15 days, they will come back with vengeance. They'll go back. It's only a change. Whereas yoga brings a transformation. A caterpillar gets transformed to a butterfly. The butterfly can never become a caterpillar again. Never. This promise is there, provided you get into this field sincerely. There are lots of people who came here and spoke very nicely that this is my passion. I want to understand it. I want to give the benefit to other people. So nice, So one, it is your responsibility when you embark upon this journey to ensure that the essence of yoga is not diluted, not distorted. First responsibility. You may have come here for any reason whatsoever. In my personal experience, I find people coming into yoga. I have yet to come across a person who comes to me to learn yoga for getting kaivalya or nirvana, which is actually the goal of yoga. Nobody comes. That is later on. Fine, excused. Most of the people enter into yoga for therapy purposes. They try all alternative therapies and then they say, chalo, yoga mein bhi dekhte hain, kuch hai kya? As a refuge of the heart, they enter into yoga. Some people come out of genuine interest of learning yoga. A small percentage. Some people come, a good people come, good number, because others also doing over a cup of tea, you should also be able to say, I also do yoga. Otherwise, you are left out. It's the in thing. And today, whether it's good or bad, we can see later on, after 5-10 years, I have seen a number of students after 12th standard taking yoga for their bachelor's degree. Yoga has become a purely independently academic subject. This is very good. Where 15-20 years back, net exams for PhD, for yoga, you have to give net exams in philosophy because yoga was a part of philosophy. Today, there are independent net exams for yoga, net for yoga. So yoga is recognized as an independent academic subject. Not only that, most of the universities today have a chair for yoga professors. Like a chair for physics, chemistry, biology, or any other subject, there is a chair for yoga. So yoga is definitely a career option. And no harm there. There may be so many youngsters here who have that at the back of the mind. Can I make yoga as a career? No problem at all. You can. There's absolutely no problem. And the last small percentage of people is, I don't do anything, so let me do yoga. That also percentage is there. No. But let me tell you something. For whatever reason you have entered into the field of yoga, that is the first and the last step, you will never get out of it. Because the incremental, marginal pleasure, happiness that you get every day when you do practice of yoga pulls you inside more and more, more and more. The first step is the final step. No going out. I have yet to come across a person who has started doing yoga practice and then say, I stopped it. No. One can stop jogging, running, playing games, fine. Yoga doesn't get stopped because it does not require anything. It requires only you. No other requirement is there. Only you are there. And once you know that it is providing me such pleasure and happiness, why will you stop it? Wherever you go, you can do it. So reasons are galore. No problem at all. The point is, if I have to ensure that the essence of yoga is not diluted, not distorted, then you have to pay attention to 4 things. One, the course that you choose for learning yoga. Traveling all over the country, I can tell you with assurance that everywhere, in every nook and corner, there is a yoga studio, there is a yoga school, there is a yoga institute, which imparts teacher training courses. So many of them. Some of them are for 7 days, In 7 days, you can become a yoga teacher. I don't know whether you can get surprised or shocked. Because having spent about 20 years, I still hesitate in telling I know yoga. No, you cannot know. It's always a work in progress. You can never become a finished product till the last point of your death. Because there is something still to learn. And paradoxically, every time you learn something, you will only realize how ignorant you are. This is a paradox. Knowledge increases your ignorance. Because till the time you don't know anything, you don't know how much you don't know. But once you start learning, then you see, kitna hai isme? How will I learn this much? Because there is too much of richness in this field. Too much of richness. As a darshana, 10 minutes more? 5 minutes. Okay. As a darshana of all philosophies in our country, whether it is Vedanta, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vaishika, Sankhya, Buddhism, Jainism, Charvakas, among all philosophies, yoga is unique because yoga is a view of life and a way of life. All philosophies are only views. How do I look at life? What is the outlook of life? Yoga is the only philosophy which provides you a way to realize the view. So all other philosophies, I don't know here, when I did the course and when I was teaching here, we had a subject which said yoga and Buddhism, yoga and Jainism, yoga and Islam.
Subjects
It is
are
there?
there, yes.
It is there, still there.
No change.
There's no change. Because you will find, even in Islam, even in Christianity, even in Buddhism, Jainism, Charvakas, everywhere you will find yoga parts. Because the way of life of yoga is adopted by all philosophies, Indian philosophies. Forget about Western philosophies. There is no philosophy as deep as Indian philosophy. So yoga is unique in that respect. So if you have got so many courses, it's very difficult to choose which course in which institute should I do. It may be just a coincidence that you have come to this institute, and the coincidence is a very fortunate one. I am not biased or prejudiced in favor of Kaivaladham because I have been teaching in all the institutes. But without bringing down any institute, without any prejudice or bias, I can tell you with conviction, the diploma course that you are doing in Kaivaladham, I can place it on record. You cannot have that much depth and comprehensiveness in any course anywhere. It may be a pure coincidence that you have come to Kaivaladham, or some of you may have done some Google research, ki yahan karu, and luckily you have come to this institute. I am saying this because I know your whole syllabus totally, what you are covering. When I say it is very comprehensive and very profound, I am also telling you to be on guard that at some point of time you will feel the pressure, baapre kitna padna hai. But after you finish your course, you will thank yourself, you will be grateful to the institute that it has taken you through the journey fully. And this course will totally prepare a platform for you to fly wherever you want to fly as far as higher studies in yoga are concerned. Whether it is master's course in yoga, whether it is PhD in yoga, this course will prepare you totally. Also, the uniqueness of the course is that after the end of the course, you have got internship of 50 hours. Earlier it was 100 hours, now it is 50 hours, where you will be working under a teacher here and treating the patients. You don't get this anywhere else. First-hand experience, therapy experience of teaching. You are supposed to prepare some case studies. Shilpa ji would have briefed you about, or you would have studied the syllabus. But more than that, when I come to the course, yes, the course is rich, profound. But more than the course, the institute. This institute in a year will celebrate 100 years of its existence in 1 year's time. And despite yoga becoming commercial more and more, you will see this outside. Because the moment some person comes to yoga teacher, mujhe yoga karna hai. After discussing, the first question is, how much fees? And lots of people, yes, charge fees, some simple, some more. So it is becoming more and more commercial. Every teacher training course, wherever you go, if you take a Yoga Alliance course, the charge may be about $3,000, which comes to about 2,25,000 rupees at today's rate, 75 rupees. And wherever you go, the parameter is money. Nothing wrong. You must earn money. If you're teaching, your time is valuable. You must earn money. No problem at all. But then, like in academics, yoga can never become a 100% academic subject. That is what Subodhji was telling, that if you don't have experience, all your knowledge is meaningless. I will give you a phrase to remember, which one of my favorite saints used to talk about, and that phrase is degree holding donkeys. You will have number of degrees in your visiting card, ye kiya, ye kiya, ye kiya. At the end of the day, you are only a donkey, because that is only a learning which is not implemented in your life. That is the difference between jnana and prajna. This difference is there only in Indian scriptures. Jnana is knowledge, prajna is wisdom. The difference is when jnana gets added to experience, it becomes wisdom. Otherwise, it's only knowledge. This institute, which is now about 100 years old, has not fallen prey to commercialism. And special efforts are taken to ensure that we don't become commercial. Because the people here who are on the top, Subodhji, O.P. Tiwari ji, and the people there, ensure that no, the greed for money should not overtake the essence of yoga. So you are fortunate to be present in this institute. Also, you will have an occasion of visiting the Lonavala Institute. The moment you visit there, you can see the atmosphere of an ashrama, the spiritual atmosphere. And then you will realize, yes, yoga is not only about doing yoga, it's also being yogic. In today's world where it is diluted totally, yoga has become a style of life, where originally it was a lifestyle. From a lifestyle, it has become a style of life. So in a sophisticated society, you can say, okay, I also do yoga. Like people say, I also do meditation. So, along with the strength of the course, we are fortunate to have the strength of the institute. One of the most pristine, traditionally pure institutes. In fact, when you become a product of this institute after doing your 10 months course and do further activities in this institute, you will start talking about tradition of the institute. I am coming from Kaivalyadham tradition. This is not only because you have done the course here, but a uniqueness of yoga practices, which is uniqueness for us Indians, but which is a matter of problem for Westerners. The same asana can be done in 3-4 ways. If I have to do Parvatasana, I can come here, I can come here, come here. Some institute will say, take the hand here and then come here. Now the question is, which is correct one? Depending upon the teachers, the guru, from where the tradition starts, the methodology of doing the asana happens. How many of you have noticed it? I don't know. In Hatha Yoga textbooks, only the final pose of an asana is described. The process of going to the asana is never described. Why? Because the Guru Shishya Parampara, every guru has his own way. So there is no right or wrong. It is just a variety. Variety is the spice of life. So Kaivalyadham has its own tradition of doing practices. And not only asana practice. The strength of Kaivalyadham is also the Kriya practices which you will not find in most of the institutes. Except for probably Basti. All Kriyas we are doing, Dhauti, Neti, Tratak, Kapalbhati, even Shankar Prakshalan. Even Shankar Prakshalan you will get an experience which you will hardly get somewhere else. It takes at least 2 days for doing Shankar Prakshalan. So, even in Pranayam, even in Bhastrika Pranayam, we do 8 varieties of Bhastrika. Whereas normal Pranayam, you go to the textbook, there is only one variety. So, every practice done here is done traditionally. It is Kaivaladham tradition. And when you go out, I am not in any way bringing down other institutes or traditions. Don't misunderstand me. I am just talking about this institute, our institute. The tradition here will slowly, you will find, yes, this is a better tradition. That will happen slowly when you start getting a flavor of other traditions. Because when you start doing here, we always have a problem in yoga. One of the obstacles in yoga, according to Hatha Pratipika, and that obstacle is laulyam. Laulyam is wavering nature of mind. She will teach you. When you have done 10 months course here, immediately after coming, or I have seen some students even before finishing the course, they will start talking, अच्छा अभी कैवल्यम का तो हो गया, अब इसके बाद क्या करना है? Shall I go to Iyengar? Shall I go to Ashtanga? Shall I go to this institute? This is the wavering nature of mind. This will happen all the time. The tradition that you carry is very, very crucial. And I am not in any way saying don't go. You must go everywhere. But then, wherever you go, you should have some roots somewhere. If the roots are not there, it will like the kite. The string is cut. And the kite thinks it has got total freedom of the sky. Yes, it has got freedom. But the end is a crash. Because there is no root. Kaivaladham strengthens your root, your foundation in yoga. You can see this. I am not exaggerating. I am not biased. Because 10 months and after that internship and submitting assignments, you will start cursing. इतना क्यों कराने का? आसन इतने easy है, चलो आसन करो छोड़ दो ना, काय को ये सब कर रहे हैं? But then you will realize that is what makes you a total yoga practitioner, a total yoga professional. And lastly, I have talked about course, content, institute. The last 2 points, your course may be good, your institute may be good, but if the people who are imparting the knowledge are not capable, all of them is useless. Fortunately, the whole batch of teachers here are not only knowledgeable but practitioners. Always remember, in yoga, practice is more important. You can know from the Google how the asana is done, ye kaisa dekhte hai, but unless until you have done the practice, you will not know anything about yoga. And the teachers here are all practicing teachers. So you have got a total product available. It's only for you to take advantage. And yes, as Raviji said, determination, devotion, discipline, that is a must. You must ensure that you come on time, I'm not talking about that, that is for children. These are all grown-ups here. Nobody is forced to come here. You are coming out of your own will and pleasure. So you must maintain the discipline. And if yoga people don't maintain the discipline of time and punctuality, no other field we can expect discipline. Finally, you have the most energetic coordinator. Enthusiastic, energetic coordinator and teacher. So all in all, you are in a blessed place. It is for you to take advantage of this environment. Thank you very much. I will keep coming and interacting with you throughout the year. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू वेरी मच डॉक्टर, बिकॉज डॉक्टर साहब ने मेरे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आपकी तरफ से आए थे उनका आंसर दे दिया आज. Really, in short, this one not 45 minutes lecture, Doctor cover all your subjects, which all subjects you are going to learn now, and he had given an abstract of each subject. He touched each and every subject which you all are going to learn. And now I am welcoming our Dr. Madhurika Desai. She is our anatomy faculty. She is going to teach you anatomy. All the way she come from Chembur. उनके patients थे, that's why, but she want to see you all and she is here. Now we are going to end our session, today's session, with 3 Om chanting. And yes, Dr. promised us today, he is going to visit us and guide. Yes, and please guide us more and more. Even students are also going to wait for yourself. Let's please, all of you, please sit tall and upright. I'm requesting doctor, please take 3 Om chanting.
Back straight, eyes closed, specs removed for just few seconds. Just calm down your body, calm down your mind. Watch your breathing. We shall chant 3 Ohms. After every chant, give a small space to observe and absorb the silence of Om chanting. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you very much.